Hi everyone. So in this short video, I'm trying to explain to you what is earned value analysis. So earned value analysis is actually a method by which project performance can be evaluated based on schedule and cost. Just by looking at the planned cost or the actual cost or the planned schedule or the actual schedule, we cannot analyze the performance of the project, or we cannot say how this project is performing as of now. So, earned value analysis is a worldwide accepted method for measuring the performance of a project. Now, to measure this performance, earned value analysis method uses three basic parameters. So, the three basic parameters in earned value analysis are: one is planned value cost. Planned value cost is actually the authorized budget assigned to scheduled work during the planning stage for a particular amount of work over a period of time. How much did we budget? Okay, that's what planned value cost is. And actual cost is the realized cost incurred for the work. In reality, how much did we spend for the same specified amount of work for the same specified period of time? And earned value cost is a measure of work performed expressed in terms of the budget authorized. That is, how much amount of work we have done in reality. And for that particular amount of work over that particular period of time, how much was the amount we budgeted? So these three parameters sometimes can be confusing. So for this purpose, let me just take you through an example. Consider that I need produce 10 desks for my new office. Now, I am going to assign a carpenter who has promised me that he will deliver me one desk per day. He is going to charge me $10 per desk. So from this, we can say that for a duration of 10 days, the carpenter is going to give me 10 desks at a cost of an overall cost of $100. Now, so this is what we have planned for: a 10 days duration and a cost of $100. Now, consider this is the situation after 5 days. Let's say the carpenter created only 3 desks. Okay, so as per the plan, it was supposed to be 5 desks, but let's say he was only able to create 3 desks. And not only that, consider that there was some changes in the raw materials or the availability of raw materials. So because of that, he is not able to provide me at the $10 rate that he quoted me earlier. But right now, he is quoting me at or charging me at $20 per desk. So I can say that until the fifth day, we have completed 3 desks and he is charging us $20 per desk. And because of that, we have right now an actual cost of $60. Okay, it's pretty simple. 3 desks, 3 multiplied by $20, it's $60. Now, let's go back to the parameters that we previously explained: planned value cost, actual cost, and earned value cost. I have given here directly the values. Planned value cost is right now what I have mentioned is $50. Now, just remember what we learned previously in planned value cost. What was planned value cost? Planned value cost was the authorized budget. Okay, authorized budget for the planned amount of work. So that is right now we have completed 5 days. Now for 5 days, we were supposed to finish, as per our plan, we were supposed to finish 5 desks. And for that 5 desks, how much did I budget for? I budgeted for $10 per desk. So 5 desks means I would have spent $50 until now. Okay, so that's the planned value cost, the authorized budget for the amount of work that we have done, or amount of work that we should have done. Now, then actual cost is pretty simple. In reality, how much did we spend? So like we said, he has produced 3 desks and at a rate of $20 per test, it has reached $60. So actual cost is $60. And then comes EV, which is the earned value. Now, what is earned value? It is actually the amount that we budgeted for the work that we have done. So in reality, for 3 desks, how much did we budget at $10 rate? It was for 3 desks, it was only $30. So the parameters that we earlier told about, the planned value, actual cost, and EV stands with these values. PV is $50, actual cost is $60, and earned value is $30 at the moment. Now let's talk about variances and indices. So in earned value analysis, for doing variance analysis, we have two variance equations. One is schedule variance and second is cost variance. Schedule variance is calculated as the difference between earned value and planned value. And cost variance is the difference between earned value and actual cost. Now, coming to the indices, you have two main indices in earned value analysis, and they are schedule performance index and cost performance index. Now, schedule performance index is a equation through which we are finding out the efficiency of a project in terms of schedule. So the equation goes like this. It's earned value divided by planned value. It's basically a ratio. And cost performance index, same as earlier, it is the method by which we are evaluating the efficiency of a project in terms of cost. And the equation goes by like this: earned value divided by actual cost. For schedule variance or schedule performance index, or cost variance or cost performance index, the outcomes are general. The outcomes of these equations are generic. In case of variances, it could always be either a positive value, a negative value, or zero, since it is a subtraction process. Whereas when you look at the index, performance indices, the equation is actually a ratio. So that means the outcome will be either less than 1 or greater than 1 or equal to 1. And each of those outcomes represent a particular status about the project. For example, let's see schedule variance and schedule performance index. So for schedule performance index, consider the value is greater than 1, or a similar situation in schedule variance where the value is positive. Then we can say that our project is currently ahead of schedule. Now, when we see if it is equal to 0 or equal to 1 for SPI, then I can say that it is on schedule. The project is on schedule. And when schedule variance is negative or SPI is less than 1, I can say that my project is behind schedule. Same way, in terms of cost, if cost variance is positive or cost performance index is greater than 1, then I can say that current project budget is on a cost underrun. That is, we haven't spent as we expected. And then in case CV is 0 or CPI is 1, then I can say it is on budget. If CV is negative or CPI is less than 1, I can say that there is a cost overrun. That means we have spent more than what we should have, or more than what we have planned for. So that is about this variances and indices. Now let's put these variances and indices equation, let's apply it on the example that we mentioned earlier. So like I said earlier, this is the situation during the project progress. After 5 days, the carpenter has created only 3 desks. He's charging us $20 per desk, and actual cost right now is $60. So we found out the parameters already. PV was $50, AC was $60, and EV was $30. Now let's put these equations into play. To find out the variances, first let's go for SV. Now how much is SV? We learned earlier that SV is EV minus PV. That is 30 minus 50, which is minus 20. Now, when we say schedule variance, do not expect the value to be in terms of days. Right now, we are getting in terms of money. Now, what does this represent? What is this minus 20? By fifth day, we were supposed to finish 5 desks. So right now, it means that we are 2 desks short, right? So in this situation, this $20 represents the 2 desks with the planned budget, based on the planned budget. Now, let's see the cost variance. Cost variance equation goes like this. It is EV minus AC. So 30 minus 60, which is minus 30. Now, what does this minus 30 represent? We should have only spent 30, but instead we have spent 60. So we have spent $30 extra. That's what this minus 30 represents. Now, as mentioned earlier, you can say that the project is behind schedule, as well as the project has a cost overrun as well here. Now let's go for the indices. The schedule performance index. The schedule performance index would be EV by PV, which is 30 by 50, which gives us 0.6. And CPI will be 30 divided by 60, which will be 0.5. Now, in this situation, again, I can say that our project is behind schedule and has a cost overrun as well. Now, using schedule variance and indices, I'll explain the same thing. But what is the advantage of indices? Using the indices, I can even predict things. So, how can we forecast? For example, I can estimate how much would be the amount that we would have spent by the end of the project. Okay, that's what I am representing here as estimated completion. So the equation can be written as estimated completion is equal to budgeted completion divided by CPI. So how much did we budget? We budgeted for the entire 10 desks $100. So that's what budgeted completion is. And CPI value we already know, which is points 100 divided by 0.5. Straight away we are getting the value $200. Even without the equation, we can say like this 10 desks, it's going to cost us $200 since the rate at which the carpenter is charging us is right now $20 per desk. But even then, compare this to a complicated project. There you can apply these equations, apply these parameters, and find out these CV, SV, and SPI and CPI values. And using those SPI and CPI values, you can predict how much or at what budget will be this project ending. Then we can even find schedule at completion, and this is purely based on the current efficiency of this carpenter. Okay, so it can be different based on the project, but this one I'm just giving you for a basic information. So planned duration divided by SPI will be the schedule at completion. So how do we get there? So 10 divided by 0.6 is equal to 16.67 days. Now, what is the 16.67? See, right now, this carpenter is able to provide us only 3 desks in 5 days. So another 5 days more for him to produce 6 desks. And another 5 days to produce 3 more desks. So it will be totally 9 desks in 15 days. And 1.67 days more to finish 1 more desk. Okay, so that's how the calculation goes like. But this won't be the same situation when you go for an actual project management or a proper project management scenario. Okay, let me show you an example of the same process, the same activity using Primavera as well. So here I'm going to put the same story into activities, and I'm going to give duration, resources, and everything. So I've already created a project. Now to this, let me add an activity here. I'm going to name it as creating 10 desks. Now, how much is the duration that we mentioned already? It is during planning, it is 10 days that we are planning for. Okay, so starting from 13th of September till 24th of September. Now, to this activity, I'm going to add a resource. So I've already created a resource named Carpenter with a unit price of like, because what we have planned is one desk per day. So for one desk, it's $10 that I'm going to pay. So I have created the resource in such a way that we are paying him $10 per day. Okay, there is no provision in Primavera for a labor resource to provide based on a quantity. Okay, so I can only give in terms of time. So 10 per day I have mentioned. So you can see here that the budgeted total cost is 100. All right, so this is the present situation. So we have the plan prepared here. Now, before going for progress updation, we need to create baselines. So for that purpose, we will go for project maintain baselines. Select this option. Now here you can click add. You can say save a copy of the current project as a new baseline, and then you click OK. You can close. Now we have to assign this baseline. So here I'll go for project baseline and I'll say here earned value analysis B1. I'll click OK. So I have set the baseline that we just created now as the baseline for this project. Now what I'll do, so we have set the plan. So one thing is the rate is different. So to update that, what I'll do is here in Primavera, there is a field named rate source. So that one I'll just say override. Override means it will not take the price per unit from the resource database, but instead I can enter here. So I'm just putting here 20. Now, once I put 20, you can see that the budgeted total cost has changed. Okay, it doesn't matter because in the baseline budgeted total cost, it's still 100 since we already backed up the project. Now, once we have made this change, next thing what you need to do is you need to give the updates like only 3 desks has been done and 7 desks are remaining. So those other things has to be updated. Now, how can I update that? After selecting this activity in status tab, here I'll mention that this project has started or this activity has started. Now on the 5th day, we have completed how many? 3. So in labor units, I'll just say that only 3 days effective amount of work has been done. So remaining is 7. So this is the equivalent of 3 desks and remaining is 7 desks. Now, after entering these, what I will do next is I'll go for schedule. Now in schedule, I have to mention like on which day I got this information. So this activity was starting on 13 September. So 13 September is supposed to be the first day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Friday is the 5th day. So the information up to the 5th day, I will receive at the end of the day or on the next day. So I'm just mentioning that I received this information on the next day. So the date I'm going to set it as the next day after the 5th. Okay, so this is actually the 6th day. After selecting the date, I'll just click schedule. Now you can see that here the task is being shown in blue, and after that again the entire 10 units is being shown here. Okay, and that is because here I need to update. So this is what I said earlier. For finding that schedule at completion, you cannot go for that equation when it comes to a real project. So here what I can do is I can just simply say, okay, so until the 5th day, maybe he has done only 3 days. So for remaining, consider like we have made sure that he will do remaining 7 days in 7 days itself. So I'm mentioning it in such a way so you can see that he's finishing now on the 12th day. So it was supposed to end on Friday. You can see from the baseline here. And now it is being getting extended to Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, a holiday here as per the calendar that we have set. Now I have updated all these things and I have already placed all the columns related to earned value management. I have already placed here. So just like we found out, planned value cost 50, actual cost 60, earned value cost 30. I did not enter anything here, but it automatically came. Schedule variance is minus 20. Cost variance is minus 30. That's the reason why it is being shown in brackets. Negative currency will be shown in Primavera in brackets. Schedule performance index we got as 0.6, cost performance index we got as 0.5, and the estimated completion cost is going to be $200. Now, just for your information, I'm also showing you here the activity usage profile. The activity usage profile, when you enable it, okay, let me just show you how I set it up as well. Just right click here and go for activity usage profile options. You can select here. You can see how I specified things. So I mentioned to display cost and I want to filter labor cost here. Okay. And you can see that I have enabled certain bars. Then here I have enabled certain curves. Now, if you click OK and exit, this is the same thing that we are seeing here. So if you see the earned value cost, you see this orange color curve is the earned value curve. And the green one is actually the planned value cost. And then the pink color represents the actual cost or the estimated completion. Now you can see that the estimated completion is pointing towards $200. Planned value cost at this stage, see it's between 80 and 40. Okay, so I'm guessing this is like 50. This is representing $50. And this is 30. Now, in an ideal situation, consider the carpenter was providing us each day one desk. Okay, if that was the situation and there was no change in the cost that he initially told us, then all these three curves will go along together. But right now, these are all shown as different. Now, even from the graph, I can tell whether the project is uh, ahead of budget uh, or like behind budget, ahead of schedule, behind schedule. All those things I can tell from the graph as well. So it's just based on the position of earned value. So now the earned value curve is below planned value. So that means it is behind schedule. And the estimated completion cost or the actual cost that is above earned value. That also says that we have a cost overrun. Okay. So this is how you can see things here in Primavera. All right. The same thing can be replicated in any other project management software. You can use Microsoft Project, or you can even use softwares like After Power Project. You can find the same thing there as well. You can try it out. Okay. So This is all about earned value analysis. I hope this was informative. Please share your valuable suggestions and comments, and do like this video. Thank you.